mean, honestly, I feel like my rally's over.
I thought it would be fine, and we ended up ripping off a wheel.
Let's talk about sand, baby. Let's talk about SSVs. Let's talk about cars and bikes and prototypes. That's the T3s. Let's talk about sand. Dakar Day 2, the rail rally starts. Dawn, a time for contemplation, anticipation and excitement.
We're ready to start the Dakar. My first objective was just to be here. The second was to be on the starting podium. Every kilometre that we cover is an incredible opportunity. And after that, we just hope for the best.
As the sun rose, the desert of Al Nefud invited this year's field into its dunes for 333 kilometres. The bikers received the roadbook just 20 minutes before the start, so they have to focus and, of course, have a highlighter.
Just trying to mark some important notes in the roadbook. Same for all of us, so just try to manage the best, you know.
Last night's rain made for perfect conditions in the early part of the stage, and the riders were happy to let it rip. But navigation got trickier as the stage wore on, and disaster was set to strike for many riders around kilometre 270. Stranded in the wilderness, a particularly tricky waypoint would end up costing some of the Dakar's big favourites between 30 minutes and an hour.
Yeah, 45, 50 minutes, so it's a bit of a shit way to start the rally, but it's only early days and we'll wait and see what happens.
I mean, honestly, I feel like my rally's over.
It's not over till the fat lady sings, Ricky. And if the rally world had fat ladies, they'd be the trucks. But you know what they say? The bigger they are, the harder they fall. As the navigator and mechanic attempted to cut their driver out of the cabin, the medical helicopter arrived. The added complication here is that the driver, Albert Llovera, is a paraplegic, paralyzed from the waist down.
We were driving a bit too fast coming from back there and came over the dune, and we had a half a roll. It's a real shame because we were going pretty well, but we were perhaps going too fast. Just a little bit too fast. These prologue type stages are always bad because there's so much to lose and very little to gain. For now, I think we're going to try to carry on. We'll see how things are with the truck, see how all of the liquids are. It was only a half roll, and I think we can continue. But before we get to the bivouac, we don't know too much.
Back to the bikes, where a bad day for many riders was turning into a good one for others. Matthias Walkner pushed hard in the closing stages to come third, as his factory teammates Kevin Benavides and Toby Price lost 34 and 44 minutes respectively. It was also a terrible day for Honda, unless you happen to be called Pablo Quintanilla. The Chilean roared to second place and sits second overall. But Juan Barreda, Nacho Cornejo and Ricky Brabeck were all in the group that got lost, and they have between 40 minutes and an hour to make up. There's no doubt who the early star is of this Dakar. 2 days and 2 wins for Daniel Sanders, who roared through the field to come home 2 minutes clear of Quintanilla. Rookie Mason Klein also had a brilliant day. He came 4th, while Adrian van Beveren is also inside the top 5 overall. The big story in the quads on day 2 was that reigning champion Manuel Andujar lost 50 minutes. Lithuanian Laisviedas Kansius, riding his 2nd Dakar after a 7th place last year, took the victory. Kamaz have made a typically dominant start in the trucks. After winning yesterday's short opener, Eduard Nikolaev was 2nd today, just 38 seconds behind defending champion Dmitry Sotnikov. We could be in for a fascinating battle between the 2 Russian teammates.
You overtake 14 vehicles today. It was absolutely maximum attack, no?
I am happy, with my Toyota, with our Toyota car. Really working very well,
C'est étonnant les conséquences.
It's really surprising to see the effects of this crash, but it has such serious consequences. When I was driving, I thought we'd be fine, and I ended up taking off the wheel. We damaged a rim, and that blocked the wheel and messed up the suspension. It twisted everything. Everything was ripped. We just saw a slight wave with stones. I thought I had enough speed, and in the end it totally ripped off the rear wheel. It's something that we haven't seen at all when we've been testing. We didn't notice that weakness. And of course we're disappointed. We're very disappointed. We're learning, but it's costly each time.
A tough lesson to learn for Mr. Dakar, but no such problems for Martin Prokop in his Ford Raptor. The Czech crew finished the day in P3.
We had 2 punctures at the start, and that meant we couldn't afford another setback. We had to drive defensively until we got to a sandy section. We had good navigation to the finish, no mistakes, and apparently it paid off because, honestly, things didn't start very well.
Matthew, he did a really good job, in navigation, last part, because we see a lot of line gone too much right, And Matthew, he said, no, Nasser, you need to be left, and just me and Sap, we try to push, and after when we get, the weak point, and we know we are in good way,
Nasser wins the stage from Loeb with the 3 Audis out in the cold. And that means that Nasser is the first ever leader of the World Rally Raid Championship, and he leads the rally. In the lightweight prototype, Seth Quintero made it a Dakar double. Having won yesterday, he made it 2 from 2 at Dakar 22. And it was the Polish driver Aaron Domzala in the T4 side-by-side class who charged through the field from 5th to take the stage win from American rival Austin Jones. Well, today's ups and downs in the dunes are done, but join us again tomorrow if you're up for some more Dakar fun.